with Coach Bryan Davis, the second round of the 5A playoffs. They lost to Massaponax 40-10, but nobody would believe you had them in the second quarter. You had them where you wanted it, and you had a drive going the way you wanted it.
We did, and then the turnover happened, and then immediately, I think 2 plays later, they scored. So under a minute, we went from possibly going up by 4 to being down by 10, and then they got the ball first in the second half. So immediately they went down and scored, and we knew we were going to have a tough time stopping them. We didn't execute real well in practice all week. I didn't imagine it was going to be any better tonight. We just knew their offense was going to have to make sure they controlled the clock, moved the ball up and down the field, and kept it out of their hands as much as possible. But when you give it back to them after moving it as proficiently as we did, then you feel that wind come out of your sails a little bit. It just happens. Unfortunately, it was just one of those moments where his communication hits the kid in the head, and there they go. They got the ball and moved back down the field.
Well, you marked it during the week precisely. You call it the military-style academy offense. I'm assuming you've seen it 100 times before. You even looked like you knew where to position the guys and what was going to happen, but it's still tough to stop on the field.
Well, they're so well versed, they got all their counts down to a science. They know exactly where they're going, and our force element, our pitch responsibility didn't do a good job in the first half. So we had to change some of those looks. The problem for us was trying to account for the quarterback. We had 2 guys on quarterback, and then early on, our guys that were responsible for dive didn't do a good job. They did a real good job of line splitting, so they took my dive responsibilities really wide. So then we had to change our responsibilities and start moving more than we really wanted to, because we're not super athletic up front, so we knew we had to do some things, and they're just good. They're really good, and they know what they're doing. Quarterback makes them go, and they don't have to throw the football, but there's always that element that you have to prepare for. But the truth be known, I think that for the most part, they out-coached me. They just did a great job Monday through Thursday. I'll take that back. From 5 years old until 12th grade, they out-coached me.
Well, he's been here since 1998. I remember when Eric Ludden came here, his 2 sons played here. One went on to VMI. I think it was 2005. They played in the state final with Nat Jackson, quarterback. This kid's name is Jackson. I don't know any relation. They probably could have won the final, but Nat Jackson did something to his knee in the prior game, but they ran it this precisely. Do you think this team's good enough to get to the state final?
Oh, it's always difficult to defend the option like that. You're going to have better players. You're going to have truly better players at the point of attack and make them throw the football. We couldn't do that. There was no way we could do that and do what we needed to. So, again, it goes back to they run that offense when they're young, they run it when they're middle school, they run it when they're in 9th grade,
they go to bed running.
JV.
Yeah.
So they're well-versed. The kids they're going to put in are certainly well-versed. They know their job. They know how to count. They know where their perimeter blocks are, the communication attack. Plus, they do a real good job of, in their no-huddle variety, they come up and see where you're in, and the quarterback knows. He knows that. You know,
Did you see their helmet reads?
Well, that's for blocking counts. Yeah. We knew that's what it was for their triple, so we knew exactly what that was supposed to mean, but I still got to stop it, and they're that good. They're just that good. So he does a great job.
Trey Watkins, number 3, had 3 touchdowns and 5 carries in that span.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the beatback is what you got to stop. But again, if they do a real good job of splitting you, and they do a real good job of changing formations, so they got unbalanced a good bit. They bring the tight end in the game, get unbalanced. So moving us around, they were really able to tell who was responsible for what. And then all they have to do is block him a different way or don't block him at all. So that's just the option. So
all right, let's put in perspective 8-3. Now, put in perspective the season. I heard Jimmy tell somebody else if he told you to start the year you had 8 wins, you'd have been ecstatic. Can you put it in perspective, even though there's plenty of sadness?
Well, yeah. I mean, for seniors, this is the last memory they're going to have. So that's no consolation that you won 8 games. Maybe when they get an opportunity to step back and relax, they'll recognize what they did now, because this is the best season that we've had in a decade. To be able to move to the second round, first playoff win, I don't know, 9 years, maybe more.
2007, I think they said.
That was more than that. I think that might be the first time we hosted. I can't remember.
No, you beat Dinwiddie in 2007.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I was down at Dinwiddie.
Okay. Well, either way, our kids worked tremendously hard and they bought in. We're just not as good as that team, and that's just the way it is. So we have 1 assistant coach in the building. They have 8. So when you're going 8 coaches, they're there all the time and getting the kids, it's just a different culture. They got kids in the weight room every day and those types of things. Hopefully we can get to that point.
Final thing, let's talk about those seniors. McCown got himself 50-some yards in his final game. Some of them gave a nice effort here. Even one of your juniors, Hunter Hart, almost gave a 200-yard performance. Talk about those seniors, what they meant to the program. I heard 4 or 5 of them leave here. This was the best year of their life.
Yeah. I mean, I told them at the end, I hope that they have gotten as much from me as I've certainly gotten from them. They've worked tremendously hard and persevered. There are no guys in that group that are extremely vocal. So the vocal leadership was never there. It was the example. But they did a great job exemplifying what we need in the offseason. The Justin McCowans, who